How's it going, everyone? Welcome to Bloom. Hope the live stream quality is going decently. It's green on my end, so if there's any problems, it's on Restream's end. Obviously, the lack of focus is on me, but aside from that. How's it going, Gary and Ilisera? Read me, idiot. Bloom's story begins 10 years after Doom 2 events. Hey, Tommy. Earth governments try to rebuild the remnants of civilization after the war against Hell. Meanwhile, Kebble Co. remained latent, waiting for the right moment to take over the old UAC facilities. Yeah, so you know the whole spiel. Blood merged with the president, a fragmented universe known as the Void. Not only that, the Vortex brought back Cabell's army along with all the demons from Hell slaughtered by Doomguy. Tried to put the Icon of Sin under their control, but after several attempts, they found that it was an impossible task. Trying to put the Icon... Okay. War of the Void begins. Being unable to subdue the army of Hell and all that good stuff. Luckily on the occasion, Doomguy won't be alone. The time Vortex Fusion brought an ally, Caleb. Together they will fight against Caleb's hybrid army. And so, you see, that's Bloom. Bloom is a total conversion mod created by Blood Team that works with Zandronome and GZ Doom engines. That's good for me, I'm using GZ Doom right now. Alright, let's get started. Doesn't that just look pretty, though? Alright, okay. Look at that. I'm gonna start with Doomguy, just because. The Way of Doomed Flesh. Ultra crispy. And it starts out pretty strong, too. Several years after Doom 2's events. Even the HUD is like a hybrid of them. Interestingly enough. Although the downside is you can't see your gun for some reason. Maybe that's because it's too big, I don't know. Wait. HUD. Maybe I need to scale it smaller. Ah. Well, now I can sort of see it. Yeah. Okay, that's a little better. That'll have to do. See, look at that. It's even merged in terms of level design, because as you can see, it's basically Doom's first map, but it's got blood mixed in with it. Extremely low-res game, make the HUD bigger. Junkie always shows me the bright side, but I'm... What? What are you talking about? You're not making any sense, man. Whatever, man. Interesting so far. And as you can see, it just goes straight to Hell. In the best way possible. It starts out as Doom's first map, and then it just fragments from there. You need the skull key. I see. That's fun. Okay. The HUD is bigger than original Doom in a game with such low resolution. You didn't realize it's at 720p, right? It's not low res. At least mine isn't. Ah, and this is where it merges into blood. Because now it's in the funeral home. Sort of. What the hell? Oh, they're using a flare gun. Does that matter? And I wouldn't say it's logically still 320 by 240. The textures of the walls and things may be the same, but distant objects are a lot crisper because of this. You can see that's still sort of merged in with the Doom 2's map. There's no place like home. The Doom commentary forgiven from lacking hell puns. What? Okay, for some reason it was cutting off the words. That was weird. I guess live chat, if you lower it enough, it just cuts off the words for some reason. As you can see, the enemies themselves are basically hybrid versions. It's very interesting. It's like the universe is coming apart. Oh yeah, definitely. As you can see, it's like the universe itself is being ripped apart. Just combining the two. It's like it can't handle it. Reality is breaking apart. That's what it looks like to me, anyway. This is the very original mod. Jeez, okay. And I'm sure your mods are so much more original, right? Hey, I think it blends together very well. That's just my opinion. Sometimes blending two concepts together can create something great. You know, like how Baldur's Gate combines Dungeons and Dragons with a sort of medieval style, medieval fantasy style. Just saying. Sometimes it's about the quality. Okay, it's blocking itself. What? Oh, okay. Wow, it has a lot of health. Huh. I don't think they give you enough ammo. The gates are now open. The gates? Okay. That's gonna be fun. Not in today's industry, you always need talent. I will welcome anyone who can show me talent in this day and age. Okay. Well, I think this looks really good. You're free to disagree, but I think it looks quite good. Nice. Oh, look, it even has the original secret. Never more will I put up with crap. Hello, friend. Oh, that's ironic. Oh, come on, man. I could say the same for Brutal Doom. But, you know, Brutal Doom is your favorite, so it's taboo to ever talk trash about that, right? Well, unless it's you, of course. Oh, look at that. Very fascinating. Ouch. Yeesh. Very fascinating. Man, I'm running out of health. Damn it. Okay. Hey, as long as you're willing to admit it. Brutal Doom isn't exactly original either. And if you want to be technical, Beautiful Doom basically just takes the assets and adds more frames to them. So, it's not exactly original either. But yet you have no problems complimenting it. All I'm saying is it doesn't have to be original to be good. I happen to think this is blended together in a very good way. But hey, if you disagree, then we'll just have to agree to disagree then, won't we? I think what matters is how well it's executed. You can have something that's not really original, and as long as it's good. You know? Besides, some of this level design is unique. You certainly won't see this in either Doom or Blood. Look at all this slope work. That looks really nice, especially with the fog effect. That's something original, relatively speaking. Not to mention the voxel work. I think I just heard rats. I'm just ranting because I didn't see anything that blew me out of the water for so long now. That's not true, I do see some talent every now and then, but not as much as I used to. Well, is that this mod's fault? You should complain about all the commercial games that don't have the originality. Don't complain about some modder who's making something for free because he happens to be a fan of Doom and Blood. I don't think it's fair to take it out on him. For something that's available for free, I think it's very well done. Damn it, these things suck. My life away. Do nothing. The regular shotgun is probably better against them. Yep, I was right. Can you actually drown in this? It's the mod's fault. Oh, come on. Are you really gonna say this mod is that bad? Because I'd like to see your super ultra original mod that's setting the standards high for everyone everywhere. You have to realize that modders are basically hobbyists. They're not exactly doing this for a job. They're doing this for free. Dang it. Oh, of course you can. I saw it, Tommy, Ratburgers. I'm not sure if I know, if you know Civvy 11's work, but he tries to avoid hell puns in his Doom videos and chastises himself for letting them through. Well, I mean, you make puns all the time, so why can't I make some bad puns every now and again, huh? They are, Thomas. Yeah, they're getting through. I'm just more focused on the guy who's complaining that a mod isn't 100% original. Because, you know, a mod of a game is supposed to be 100% original, guys. Didn't you know that? A mod that is specifically trying to modify an existing product, that's supposed to be original. And how dare you have it be less than completely original? Clearly there's something wrong with you. Besides, saying that something is going to hell is a very common meaning. You can say that and not even make it a pun. Like if I say, yeah, I'm not even sure what a good pun for blood would be. What the hell just happened? It's like I just got stuck. Talk about gluing it in. Now that was a pun. Intentionally. That was weird. Oh, okay. Now I see. I walked in there and they just popped out. Already put it onto Steam, we can hash it up again. All great genres or mods of other games, but you know, they're original with some talent. I don't think Counter-Strike was all that original. I mean, if you get down to it, Team Fortress isn't even that original. I mean, I could step on your toes. Castlevania straight up rips off JoJo's Bizarre Adventure in some ways. A very macho man going after a vampire. They weren't even trying to hide it. Not to mention that pretty much every Castlevania game and Bloodstain has extreme references to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure because the plot has been lifted straight from it. And, you know, in case you want to complain about being original. Hell, just featuring Dracula makes something extremely not original because that's not a new creature. I can step on your toes in so many ways. Well, why can't you say this stands on its own, huh? How come this can't stand on its own? Okay, that's pretty cool. Even you have to admit that. Having his spine slip out, that is pretty awesome. That's straight up cool. Or maybe you won't admit it. This door must be unlocked somewhere. Somewhere over the rainbow, where bluebirds fly, perhaps that's where the door is open. Yeah, with everything you mentioned, okay. No, I'm right. The thing is, when it comes to using them in a context related to Doom, it's virtually impossible not to make them seem punny. Yeah, I guess you make a point, but I think intent matters too. Am I not allowed to say, am I just supposed to prevent myself from saying common phrases just because they could be seen as a pun? I mean, that'd be like me saying, "You're killing me here," while something is chewing on me. I mean, it's just a common phrase. If anything, that it could be seen as censoring. Sure, it could be seen as a pun, but I mean, if we censor something because of someone else's interpretation of it, then that opens the door to some very unfortunate things, if you catch my drift. To be fair, I think I'm the first guy to notice that. If you want puns, I'm the funniest guy I know, and I'm not ranting, which is only 5% of the time less. Okay, then. Entertain us with your puns, then, Ilisera. Maybe that'll be better than just complaining all the time. Also, check this out. Now it's on the funeral home. But it has the UAC tech all over it too, so that's pretty cool. Ah, crap. Holy crap. I lost so much health very quickly without even realizing it. That's the unfortunate thing about those rapid-fire hit scanners. Yeah, I know. I think I remember that. Ratburgers, of course. Hitting the piano, yep, hitting the piano triggered him. Holy crap. Yeesh. Talk about going nuts. Freaking Revenant. Freaking Revenant ghosts? Freaking Revenant specters, I mean? I don't even know what to call them. Oh boy. Get the hell out of here. Yes, Gary's always here. Gary just doesn't talk as much. Don't worry, Gary's always here. Yeesh. This is hellish. Oh, lovely. Lovely. Damn it. Reaper Revenants. Sure. I mean, the more views, the better, right? Go ahead and show it to everyone you know. Because at least I'll get those sweet, juicy views from it, so... Go ahead. I mean, heck, you were surprised that I beat the boss as quickly as I did, so... I can't be that bad. You son of a mother frickin'. This guy's tough. Why, what's different from what I normally do? Besides, doesn't everyone scream and cry over Dark Souls? Isn't that a... I mean, that game is known for being infamously hard. Isn't that just standard fare when it comes to Dark Souls videos? Yeesh. It's like a kick in the teeth. I think it just spawns another one. No, okay, and this time it doesn't. I don't think I cried that much. Usually I just get pissed off and I go, you know what, hang tight real quick. And then, you know, you just watch it. Trust me. You should hear the kind of things I say to myself when I'm fast forwarding, when the mic is off. Trust me. Let's just say, I'm gonna put this on the table right now. If you could hear the things that I say to myself when the video is being fast forwarded when I know the mic is off, it would probably instantly demonetize the video. If not, just have it removed outright. I say some pretty harsh words, to say the least. Mostly about the developers. But hey, when I'm pissed off at something, when I'm pissed off at a game for feeling cheap, you know, sometimes words slip out. Oh, don't worry. I tend to make a really long clip of all the times I died. It's gonna be quite a length. Although I think I've done 6 Let's Plays of it. I don't remember how many I did. Of course, you are nice to me when you're editing. You log in just to insult. Lovely. Hey, it's easy to type stuff. I don't think they did. Oh, okay, boots. Jumping boots. Ah, so this is how you have to get up there. Or not. And they're just infinite voids that you weren't meant to even be up there for. Where the hell am I supposed to go? I swear, when this game isn't, ripping my balls off, it's just being incredibly cryptic. There has to be somewhere I gotta go here. I actually figured that I'd get through these levels pretty fast because there's only 4 of them, but I might just be here for a while. I didn't expect that. I might not even have to go into the IWAD. Because you can play this mod with the original Doom maps, and I figured I'd go through that with Caleb, or even go back through them again with Caleb, because I'm doing this with Doom Guy right now, but I don't think I even need that kind of padding. I think this is enough for itself. Some of the power-ups don't take who picks them up into account. Yeah, that would seem to be the case, yeah. They probably do the same stuff regardless. I think you just get perks. Let's see if I remember this. Okay. In Merciful Strength can quad the weapon's damage, can morph into werewolf, can shoot 2 weapons. Right, okay. So, he can quad the damage. Ah. What the? Huh. This is interesting. Is this E1M1? Sort of. A corrupted version of E1... Yep, it's a corrupted version of E1M1. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of Portal 2. Like the Sir Guy of Gisborne. Well, according to the novels, his name is Flynn Taggart, but I don't think that's canon. Also, it's a stupid-sounding name anyway. This reminds me of Portal 2, because you go through previous test chambers, but then they're dilapidated. They're full of vines, you know? It's like returning to an old stomping ground after about a few decades of it just decaying and nature taking over after it's been abandoned. Like, if you've ever seen Chernobyl, shots of Chernobyl, that's basically what's happening there. Ah, Stan Blazkowicz. Well, he is, I think Commander Keen is Blazkowicz's grandson, and then Doom Guy is Billy Blaze's Commander Keen. Yeah, Billy Blaze is, BJ's grandson, I think, and then Doom Guy is Billy's son. Although, with that new Commander Keen game, it's like they're trying to... Is that supposed to be Doom Guy? Or do they just not give a crap about the lore anymore? I'm guessing it's the latter. I like that they went with E1M1, though. That's really nice. Because it's far more iconic than Doom 2's first level. No offense to Doom 2's first level. It's nice and all. The running theme probably gets on people's nerves after a while, just because it plays so much. Because people don't bother to replace the music, for the most part, with their mods. But E1M1 is obviously going to be far more iconic because it was the shareware version. So even people who didn't buy Doom probably have fond memories of E1M1. I always muted the music for any intake game ever. Why? You don't like the music? Is it too simplistic for you? Not enough violin? I can imagine you doing a review, an IGN-styled review. 6 out of 10. Not enough violin. Don't like it. I don't even like Hex's music. Okay, suit yourself. I kind of like E1M8's music. It's very fitting. I don't know if any of you have seen my review that I did of Doom recently for the 26th anniversary, but I really love E1M8's music. It sounds so morbid and depressing. You know, like... It really does sound like Executioner's music, in my opinion. Like you're really about to die. And it acknowledges that. Okay, I do the same when a P-Wad reads vanilla music. Fair enough. Although what you could do is, I think it's IDMUS, and then you can change it to a different level's music. Hold on, let me demonstrate. This is level 2, right? Yeah, I think this is map 2. Watch this. Wait. Okay, say you can change the music with IDMUS. That kind of helps if you at least want some variety. Like you want a different level's music than just running from evil all the time. Meow, meow, meow. I'm sure anyone who's ever played Doom 2 mods. So what do you want for Christmas, Junkie? Doom Eternal or Half-Life 2.5 VR? Well, considering that Half-Life VR I'm probably not even going to get to play, probably Doom Eternal. I mean, unless I can ask this theoretical Santa Claus for a VR headset to go with it, which even then I would probably still pick Doom Eternal because it's Doom Eternal and that's just a virtual reality game. No offense, but I get the feeling that Doom Eternal is going to be more of a complete game. It's going to feel more like a complete game than the VR game because that just has spin-off written all over it. Nah, there will be a flat version probably within a day. Well, I'll tell you this much. They'll probably mod one in. Someone will probably mod the game to make sure that you can use keyboard commands to do all the context actions and then just make it flat and make it think you already have a virtual reality. Yeah. Yeah, I get the feeling someone would do that. It would be a little bit extensive, though. You'd have to basically mod in a way so that you can click keyboard commands and it replaces just using the hands, because that's probably the one thing that's going to most prevent people from being able to play it without a VR headset vanilla, because it basically uses your hands to do things. You have to grab things with your hands. You have to shoot the gun with your physical hands. That would probably be a lot harder to replicate than just making the game believe it's in virtual reality when it's not. The new Half-Life game is supposed to be about the beginning. Yeah, I heard that too. I find it funny how it's between Half-Life 1 and Half-Life 2, so it's basically Half-Life 1.5. So basically what they're saying is, everyone wanted a Half-Life 3, so Valve literally met them halfway and made a Half-Life 1.5. Pretty funny, right? Why am I holding back? I got a plasma rifle. Screw this. Screw these guys. Oh, crap. Okay, this is starting to get hexen. Why is it all of a sudden lagging? It's really lagging all of a sudden. That was a little weird. Do those cacodemons? Hey, they're still covering plot holes. We want... Yeah, it's okay doing them. Like I said, Valve literally met them halfway and made a Half-Life 1.5. That's basically what they did. Right. Ouch. See what is stalling? Well, it's running fine now. Those two cacodemons, for some reason, seem to be causing it to lag. Unless the game was doing it on purpose somehow. There we go. Okay. Save it, because I just killed him. Remember that mod? Yeah, I remember that. What of it? I know that it had different weapons for Plutonia and TNT Evolution. I played it once, I think. And I also gave it some special footage treatment. No. No, Elisera. No. That's Imp Encounter. And trust me, it's as disgusting as it sounds. Ugh. Freaking an imp. Has anyone ever seen JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 5? Basically, that credits song would be fitting for that mod. Let's see. Freak you. Doom guy apparently just wants to freaking imp. Okay, what was the point of that? That's a tease. I know. Well, I know what happens in Part 6. I may not have watched or read it extensively, but I do know the important plot points of Part 6. Oh, great, this guy again. This freaking guy again. What the hell? What's with the shifty, lafty sound? What the hell was that? That was weird. You ever do the Plutonia set? Use the Plutonia MIDI pack with the iWatch for the complete experience. Alright. Oh, crap. Okay. Gotta collect call, man. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. This is gonna get complicated. I better concentrate. Part 5 dragged 20 episodes more than it should. The memes, while creative and justified, I expected more. David Productions really spoiled me in parts 2 through 4. I think you mean Iraqi really spoiled you in parts 2 through 4. I mean, doesn't Iraqi really set the pacing? I mean, when you think about it, it's up to Iraqi. David Productions is just adapting his manga. You want them to just skip over plot points? Because I don't think Iraqi would let them get away with that. So ultimately, Iraqi kind of sets the pace for that. Well, unless they added a lot of filler, but I don't think they did. Because Part 5, the manga, has been out forever. So I'm pretty sure it's faithful to the manga in terms of pacings. So, I mean, if you want to be technical, you can blame Araki for that. They are going perfectly slide by slide. Yeah, well, yeah. What do you expect? They gotta be faithful to it. I think they're contractually obligated too. Oh, they're not going slide by slide. Well, that's true. They actually skipped over an important plot point in Part 4, because when, I don't remember his name, but the fly, Greyfly? Tower of Grey? No, that's not it. Superfly. When he fought Superfly stand user, the Pylon Tower, they completely skipped over the ending of that fight, where they actually show that Josuke almost slipped off of it because of the guy's blood. So it sort of just abruptly cuts. It just sort of abruptly cuts to it already being resolved. Oh, for the love of God. Come on. I need that medkit now. Nice. That's right, burn. You asshole. I forgot how painful that stomp attack is. Screw this. Okay, save again. Just so that asshole doesn't kill me by himself. I think hangar fits as a progression sense too. A hangar emerged with the train station. Good point, Thomas. I wonder if this guy had that in mind. I really hate that stomp attack. It's so cheap. I really hated it in Blood. I love Blood, but that was one of the things that actually pissed me off about Blood, because those things as stomp attack is just super cheap. It's basically a hit scan attack that goes really fast, and it does a lot of damage. It would be like if you had an enemy with a sniper rifle and they could just instantly shoot you. I mean, where's the challenge? Where's the fun challenge in that? Wasn't E1, M2 of Blood set in the train station? I think it was. I'm not sure. I don't remember. Oh, okay. What the hell? Am I back here? Part 4 was weird. All the other parts, first 3 are the enemies, and then they become good. In Part 4, everyone except Chili Pepper and Kira just needed... Well, what about Akira? Oh, wait. You just said Chili Pepper. To be fair, most of the Part 3 villains were just paid assassins. So, they just had their asses kicked and then they just left. Also, Part 4 is sort of a lighter tone than previous ones. You can definitely tell because it's the first one to use a much softer art style instead of that gritty, manly look. True. Actually, Miyamoto didn't become a good guy either. You know, the guy that turns people into paper by having them display their signs of fear, he doesn't become a good guy, he just becomes trapped in a book forever. Which I think was a little messed up, actually. I mean, I think I'd rather Josuke had just killed him. He didn't really do anything all that bad by assassin standards either. She tried to kill them, and yeah, he used Josuke's mom as a decoy, but he didn't actually hurt her. I think that was a bit of a disproportionate punishment. Also, in case you couldn't tell, the game crashed. Because sometimes that'll happen. Unfortunately. Well, it's not so much the game crashing, it's GZ Doom crashing. It'll do that sometimes for no reason. I really do think it's an API issue because it seems like it's in games like this where it happens. Right, Bloom. I love how Darby didn't get Aura'd. Oh, you mean the older one? He got something worse. Are you kidding me? I think I would have rather got Aura'd. He basically went insane. At least with an aura, you can heal from it. You can heal from an aura. What happened to him was, he went insane. He lost his mind. He's probably never going to recover from that. I mean, I think I'd rather be in Steely Dan's position, because at least his bones will heal back eventually. Just maybe a month in the hospital and he'll be fine. Older Darby, like I said, he's probably lost his mind for life. He'll probably never get his mind back. I mean, which would you rather be? The guy who got his ass kicked, or the guy who's just insane forever? I don't think he got off as easy as you think he did. Although, where does this game actually want me to go? Because I came back here, and now I can't go back. By the way, I run GZ Doom for a year now, and you know when making a mod, you break things. Never crashed for me. So, it's my fault. So you're saying it's my fault that GZ Doom is crashing for no reason. Lovely. No, just blame me for everything. You know, someone somewhere in the world developed a hernia. Damn it, V-Gaming Junkie. Damn you. And maybe you play stupid mods, I don't know. Okay, Mr. Smartass. GZ Doom has crashed vanilla. Like, literally, just vanilla. I'm running... Which one is it? Frick, I think it's 3.5. I don't remember. I have to look at it. Oh. Well, there are some errors, but I don't think those caused a crash. Where is it? Oh, build. There's the build. Oh, bottom right corner. Ah, yep, it is 3.5. It was the newest stable version at the time. I didn't want to go with the experimental new builds because they seem to crash more often. Well, for obvious reasons. Now, this doesn't make any sense, though. You teleport back here, and then all of a sudden, there doesn't appear to be anything else. It's like the game is just messing with you. You do have a lot of crashing in a lot of games, we can agree on that. Well, I don't know what's causing it, though. It could be DirectX. You insist that it isn't, but I think it is. Yeah, we know, Illicera, we know that you have a fetish for birds, but that's beside the point. The current stable version is 4.2.4. Well, maybe I'll switch to it. When I'm doing new things, of course. The unfortunate thing about GZ Doom is it just breaks every one of your save files, and I really hate that, because it means that if I'm currently doing... Ah, okay, well, I'm an idiot. This is what I was supposed to do. I really hate that GZ Doom consistently breaks its own saves. So if you get a new version of GZ Doom and you were currently playing through something, tough shit. Well, I bet you feel really good that Pet Shop got its ass kicked by a dog, right? It's just you update it once you're between playthroughs. Yeah, I get it. You make a good point. I probably should. Ah, that's how you get back here. Clever. I do not feel good that poor Pet Shop got served. He was a villain, what do you expect? Were you hoping that the villain would win? Oh, beautiful. Now there's an arch file somewhere. Or the equivalent of one. Where's that arch file? Oh look, it's pinky flamers. As if things weren't bad enough already. Oh, that must be the one. There's the arch file equivalent. Oh boy, they're not making it easy, are they? I can see what may cause a slowdown. It was the cacodemons that did it. Whew, okay. Well, it's not slowing down now. It must have been some kind of unique combination. Unfortunately, even GZ Doom isn't exactly efficient when it comes to resource culling. It doesn't like to cull things that are out of sight. I guess because you could no-clip through the walls or something, but... I mean, hell. I think the Quake 1 and 2 have better culling. And it just... If you notice in some games like Quake 2 and Doom 3, when you use no-clip out of bounds, it suddenly becomes laggy because it's not culling the things it would normally cull. So, I don't get why GZ Doom isn't more aggressive about culling things that are out of sight. There's really no reason it should have to be still rendering that area in there. The location may be a bad BSP tree setup of you in a huge sector or whatnot. Yeah, maybe. I mean, it does look impressive, but unfortunately, all that impressive detail comes at the cost of performance. Or it can. I have a decent enough quad-core processor, It runs smoothly for the most part. It just has hiccups here and there. I mean, you can see right now it's working fine right now. But that's the key word, right now. Keywords, I guess I should say. Right now it's running fine. But it can get overloaded. Oh, I feel good about this. Uh-oh. What the hell? Oh, that's fun. Oh boy. What the hell's going on here? It's blood, it's doom, it's delude, bloom. Truth be told, we don't need to speculate. If you want after stream, you can go to the same location you bugged, then I can give you some debugging commands. Yeah. Well, if I do that, I should probably alert every enemy in the area first, and then no-clip through a wall or something. That way the AI is all active. And it's as strained as it possibly can get, you know? That might help. I'm not sure. Nope, this one doesn't. I don't think they do. This doesn't. This doesn't. I don't even have any shells, so I can't even test it for the shotgun. I don't think it does. Just switch your codec that you change. Even on GZ Doom, you lag. Okay. We just faded into blackness. I'm sorry for that. Without any indication. Hopefully it resumed right where it left off. Not thought to make a new stream entirely. Well, how's this? This better? I reverted to the software shader. You didn't say not to do it mid-game either. Well, I'm proving to you right now whether it works or not. Is it better? Oh, it's better? What happened is that I reverted to the software codec. Is this better than the NVIDIA one? I need a longer time period to serve as a sample. Well, how is it right now? If you're judging it by literally right now, how is it? Okay, I guess we're not gonna just judge it right now for what it is. We gotta wait. Well, it is only 30 frames per second and a low bit rate because of YouTube streaming limitations. Well, mostly the limitations of my own damn internet. Oh, okay, cool. I'm glad. So, Belisarius' advice was a good idea. I guess I'm glad I took it. I'm guessing this is gonna be Doom 2. What the F is this map you're in? Isn't it obvious? It's the train level from Blood. Haven't you ever seen Blood? Get to the train, dead meme. You wanna know another dead meme? All you had to do was follow the damn train, CJ. Ah, excellent. It's a combination of E1M3 and the train level. Except this is kind of weird. This doesn't really make any sense. It doesn't make any sense for this to be connected. Well, I was mostly thinking of San Andreas because that's the one. Ah, crap. Oh, crap. You run out of ammo really fast in this mod. Did I mention that? Because that seems to be an omnipresent problem in this mod. You never have enough ammo, it feels like. I mean, I don't remember Doom or Blood just string you along and making you have to worry about your ammo consumption. Usually with both, you get it in fairly high quantities because it was a classic first-person shooter. Literally something I have a dream. It's awesome. Do you need Blood? No. You just need Doom, man. It's a Doom mod, not a Blood mod. Oh, boy. Son of a bitch. Well, what about Grand Theft Auto 5? Damn it. This is getting hellish. It's all the freaking hit scan enemies. They make it freaking difficult. That and the lack of ammo. Yeesh. Well, I mean, I got Grand Theft Auto San Andreas for free because of the launcher. Although if I did do any Grand Theft Auto games, it probably wouldn't be for a while. It's one hell of a time. It's both, Negative Neo. Although if you want to be technical, the base game is Doom. But the actual thing is supposed to be a mixture. You can do Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, which is also good. Okay, then. Apparently GTA 5 takes place in roughly the same area as San Andreas. At least it's better than just going back to Liberty City over and over again. No offense, GTA 4, but I already played quite a bit of Liberty City stories and a little bit of Grand Theft Auto 3, so I think they've done enough New York-based levels. Ah. Well, I could always get it secondhand or something. And we are not supporting immoral things. Yeah, got it. If I bought it secondhand, though, Rockstar wouldn't get anything from it. Just saying, wink, wink. There, come on. I'm guessing I have to use this to jump over there. Yep. I hate how their take on New York lacked a Staten Island analog. Maybe. Okay, that's pretty cool. You have to admit look at that. This is different. That's cool. Fair enough, Tommy. Just don't buy online stuff. Right. Ah, crap. Although the online stuff, I think they came out with long after the game had already been out. So it's not like they intended for that, unless they were just planning it for a while. Really getting sick of these cacodemons. Oh boy. Holy crap. Just die already. Die for the sake of all humanity. I love when they burn. Does that make me sadistic to say that I enjoy it when they burn? I wish I could stay, but I'm on a delivery now. It's about to begin, but I watched the video, and after the fact, as always, I'm a busy Shadesman after all. I hear you, Shadesman. I really appreciate you popping in. Have a good one. And, best of luck to you. Barney Cullen wonders who unleashed the cacodemon. Jim Guy would like to know your location. Sure thing, Shady. Some may think that you have good motives, but I think you're a little shady. So I don't mind if Rockstar envelops. It's still within direct acceptance, but as a customer, I never accept. But, Illicera, weren't you okay with EA doing that? Didn't you say that EA was doing... Didn't you say that you were okay with EA doing it? Ah, fair enough. Barney. I guess I should have figured that, but... I should have figured that because his name's Barney, but... I remember his first name, I just didn't remember his last name. Could have just said Barney the security guard and I would have understood immediately. About that beer I owed you. It's me, Gordon. I find it funny how Half-Life 2 tried to turn what was basically copy-paste characters into their own unique characters. Like Barney and the scientist, whose name eludes me, Kleiner. They turned Barney and Kleiner from copy-paste NPCs into their actually being their own character. So that was nice. As a public investor, I'm glad they do it for the bottom line, but as a human being and a customer, no. Okay then. So you're okay with it as long as it benefits you. So if you're working for EA, you'd probably love it because it's making you money. Because it's putting money in your pocket, right? Oh, lovely. Paint elementals. I just love paint elementals. Can you tell by how totally not sarcastic I sound? Douchebag. Ah, that's cool. I wasn't aware of that. I never played, well, I'm gonna make a confession with you. I've never played Half-Life 1 proper. I played through most of Black Mesa, which is basically a remake of Half-Life 1. I never played through Half-Life 1 itself. Believe it or not. Maybe I should. Maybe after I'm done with Hunt Down the Freeman, and then I do that mod that one guy made that's supposed to be based off of Half-Life 2 Episode 3, and then maybe after I do Black Mesa, I should go back and just do the vanilla Half-Life 1. Who knows? You know, you can like some aspects of things and dislike other aspects. Yeah, well, when that aspect is the company kind of doing some shady things, I'm not really sure you can make that argument. At least entirely. Because it sounds like you're willing to let things slide. It's different if it's a quality concern as opposed to a subjective, you're just legitimately doing wrong and intentionally screwing people over kind of wrong. That's just my opinion, though. Very nice. The door is now unlocked. Crap. Remember the scene where you see the guard banging on the door in the beginning? That's Barney. Ah. Cool. Well, in Half-Life 2. That was also in Half-Life, of course. Actually, Black Mesa adds one where he's greeting you in as you come in. And you can tell it's that Barney. Hey, you cut your I think it was a ponytail. Hey, you cut your ponytail, sell out. Usually things only bother me when choice is out of the picture. Well, you know what's not a choice? They make their games intentionally grindy. That way it encourages you to buy microtransactions. That's not a choice. Whenever they say, well, it's just a choice, you don't have to buy it. No, but the game will become hell to play because they intentionally make it as grindy as possible to try to force you to do it. That isn't a choice. They changed their game design just to force you into paying up. To make you want to pay up. Just to make the game better. To make the game as fun as previous games used to be. Right out of the box. So, I don't consider that much of a choice. I guess you could just choose not to buy it, but, you know, once you buy into it, it's kind of too late. In Half-Life 1 itself, Blue Shift, Half-Life 2 Barney only appears where I described. Fair enough. I was just saying that Black Mesa also added another contextualized scene. Did I play Half-Life 1 without playing Half-Life 2? Well, I'm pretty sure Half-Life 1 takes place before Half-Life 2, so you'd probably want to play Half-Life 1 above all else. In fact, me playing Half-Life 2 without having played through Half-Life 1 proper probably makes me the weirdo. Hello, friend. How are you? I was referring to the specific character Barney, not the generic guard model. Right. Well, like I said, I was pointing out that Black Mesa also adds a proper scene for him. Well, isn't that just lovely? I will admit the transitions are nice. You never see it coming. It instantly takes you to that spot. Go screw yourself, pal. That requires a fire key. Excellent. I'm so happy for that. The switches are just for show. You sure it's not? Because it sounds like him. You're like, you cut off the ponytail, sellout. Here, I thought they'd just do the first 4 levels, but they're going all out. It's dead simple now. I didn't expect that. That is awesome. For a demo, this has got far more content than I was expecting. Honestly. I may not even be able to get through a live stream in one take. I may not even be able to get through all of it in one live stream. Well, I mean, I've gone through part of the 3rd level, so there's probably not enough to do another live stream, but still, that's impressive. If it was, they would have used his model like they did with Ellie and Kleiner. Well, are you sure it's not him? Right. Spiders. Freaking spiders. I love how they act like the blood spiders, but then they crash. They make the electronical crashing sound. Oh boy. Go screw yourself, pain elementals. Damn it. This sucks. I mean, it could be worse. At least they're not archviles. Still. Go straight to hell. Oh, crap. Everything in this mod pack is an abomination. Well, it is a mixture of Doom and Blood. Do you expect them to look like cuddly bunnies? That would be Daisy. And Daisy ends up with its severed head on a post. So, yeah. It's not that kind of game. It's not a light and fluffy, cutie game. I hate to say it. This is Doom and Blood. They were abominations to begin with, let alone merged together in some kind of Frankenstein's monster. By the way, when people call the Frankenstein's monster Frankenstein, they're mistaken. That's probably obvious. That's probably well known by now, but it actually kind of irks me when people call the monster Frankenstein. Frankenstein's the creator. We need Doom mods that are cute. Have you played Mr. Friendly? Because that one basically turns Doom into Animal Crossing. Because instead of killing the demons, you do tasks for them, for some of them. It was interesting, to say the least. I call it the YouTube approved Doom. It's like, Itchy and Scratchy when Marge forced them to censor it. You're my best friend. No. No, Octo. No. Do not encourage Elasera because he wants me to play that. Do not encourage him. No. No. No, thank you. Barney's point of view in Blue Shift. Fair enough. Negative Neo. Think of a type of anime that begins with H. It rhymes with Ben Guy. I think you know what I'm referring to. That's what they want me to play. No, thank you. I'm okay with playing games that have light sexual elements in them, but if it's completely wrapped around it, I'm not interested. I'm just straight up no. I'm not going to judge other people for playing games like that. I'm obviously not going to require them to be censored. I'm not going to demand it. But I will say, I'm not going to play it myself. I think that's fair, right? I think that's more than fair. Wait, what the? Was I supposed to press that button first? Probably, yeah. Nope. I wasn't. The switch is broken. It was pretty obvious from the start, wasn't it? So yeah, Neo, that answer your question? I like adult games, but I like the oversaturation of low quality. Oh, you hate the oversaturation of low quality adult games. Honestly, if I'm going to have an adult game, I'd rather it have more depth in it than just, you know, be cheap P.O. Because I think that's a very immature kind of way to say that it's for adults, ironically. If it's going to be something for adults, I think it should have more depth to it. You know? Maybe someone struggling from an addiction or something. That's kind of more of a mature thing. That's kind of more of an adult kind of thing. Maybe stream Duke It Out and Doom. I think I Let's Played Duke It Out and Doom once. I don't think there's enough for that to do a live stream, unfortunately. If it's a total conversion like this is, then yeah, I can totally see that, but if it's just a TC, I mean, if it just modifies enemies and weapons and behaviors and whatnot, and it doesn't have its own maps, it's more of a Let's Play kind of thing, you know? I don't think there's enough material there to hang it out for a full 2 hours. Sorry. When I came across the Mr. Friendly, I was expecting a Half-Life gameplay pack and was relieved to see an Animal Crossing setup. Ah, yes, Mr. Friendly was supposed to be an enemy. Not a very friend... It's an ironic name, to say the least. Because apparently he was supposed to be a very nasty opponent. To... Excellent. This door must be unlocked elsewhere. Fantastic. I'm so glad that I have to unlock things. Ugh. Doom World problems. Alright, there's the Alien Armageddon Duke expansion that reworks every level. That's supposed to be great. You know who ate all the donuts? If you mean the one where you can play as Bombshell, I already Let's Played that too. Granted, there's probably more content there than what I Let's Played, but the mod also lagged a lot for me. Sure, you can say that my quad-core processor is getting aged nowadays, but come on, friggin' Duke 3D. friggin' Doom, friggin' 1990s FPSs that were played on, like, X286s. I don't think that should be struggling for a quad-core processor to play it, no matter how many enemies there are, no matter how large the levels are. In this day and age, a Doom/Duke 3D map, in my personal opinion, should not be straining for a quad-core processor. That is just ridiculous. At that point, you're just being inefficient. They did update it, it doesn't seem to lag anymore from my experiences. Well, then I'll go back to it in the future. I'll see about it. If I get a new one and it doesn't lag, maybe it'll be live stream material. I'm not sure. It might work. Because when I tried it, it was especially laggy in one of the areas. So yeah. Although, coming up, two live streams I'm going to do pretty soon are mods for Fallout New Vegas and Skyrim, because they're basically Christmas-based mods, and you know, I gotta do it for Christmas. There's a Skyrim mod that's basically a Christmas adventure, and apparently there is a, well, they claim that it's high production quality for New Vegas. That's apparently a sort of Christmas world in and of itself, where it has all kinds of quests and things to do, so I'm definitely going to be live streaming that, and the Skyrim one. Because, you know, Christmas only comes once a year. I can do Alien Armageddon anytime I want, but if I want to do a Christmas one and have it be relevant... Oh, you're too late, Nether Octo. I already did a Let's Play of that. When I say that when I say I schedule Let's Plays very heavily in advance, I put emphasis on heavily advance. I already Let's Played Postal 2 Christmas. I didn't get that much done in it, mind you, but I did do a Let's Play of it. I also did a Let's Play of Holiday Hair Jazz Jackrabbit. That one was a request by Gary. And it was actually pretty fun. I'm not sure if it was because I had a demo or something, but the Holiday Hair one was actually pretty short. It was actually lower than 30 minutes. Well, you know, once I cut out the fast-forwarding sections. So, yeah. That, if you want to know what I Let's Played for what's going to be the Let's Plays for Christmas, that's going to upload on December 25th. It's going to be Jazz Jackrabbit Holiday Hair and A Very Postal 2 Christmas. I forgot about those. I've been looking for holiday games to stream. Oh, that's cool. I know last year I did Visceral Cleanup Detail, Santa's Rampage. And I think you guys liked that well enough, right? This requires a spider key. Great. Yes, yay indeed, Gary. Yay indeed. Seriously, what the hell? Where am I supposed to go? Is there a key or something? Or something I was supposed to do? I think that actually opened a door somewhere. I think I'm actually supposed to go this way. You know the funny thing, Octo? Gary can back me up on this, I think. I think Gary was actually there. That was actually the first thing I've ever live streamed. I think Winter Apocalypse was my first live stream ever on this channel. Well, actually my first live stream was an EA ACA, but my first video game live stream was Nuclear Apocalypse. So yeah. That was probably a little awkward because I was just starting out. Lookup called Mortashine pictured the bare bones concept behind Pokemon, Lovecraft, and Garbage Pail Kids combined into one. Sounds interesting, but I'm probably not going to play a tabletop RPG. Mostly because I don't know people who would actually want to play that with me. Don't get me wrong, I obviously have friends, but when it comes to doing things like this, I don't really involve people that I know personally with things like this, especially. Huh, the living end already. Well, it certainly knows how to spin you around, doesn't it? Although I kind of wish it had the O of Destruction. I love the O of Destruction. Not sure what it is. I just really love the design of O of Destruction. Oh, a reflection mystique. That's cool. It doesn't stop damage, so it's basically worthless, but, you know. It's a cool setup to look into. He put the Universe Bible online. Interesting. Well, you can tell there's only 4 levels because it skips you around a lot. It quickly takes you to the end, which is kind of interesting. Better get the hell out of here because I'm in the open and I'm gonna get shot to crap. Buddy. Did the main kingdoms just get a lot thinner? That was weird. Ah, mostly for other people to use. Fair enough. That's cool, man. Did you hear about the I Am Jesus Christ simulator that's gonna come out? Have you actually seen that? The funny thing is I'm actually interested in playing that. I wouldn't mind playing it when it comes out. That may sound weird, but I am legitimately interested in that Jesus Christ simulator. And I'm not gonna be afraid to admit it, I am a Christian myself, so that should be fun, right? Uh-oh. Quit burning me. Quit burning me on your deals. What sect? What sect? Oh, I am Pentecostal. I am in an Assemblies of God church. And I do not regret a thing. I like the denomination. For lack of a better term, Pentecostal is basically what people think of when they think of a stereotypical black church. You know, they go around dancing and being all excited. That's basically Pentecostal. And I like it just fine. I mean, hey, if Roman Catholicism works for you, it works for you. Personally, I like how excited Pentecostalism is. I find it kind of weird how other denominations think it's a bad thing for you to speak in tongues, considering the original apostles spoke in tongues, so unless they're supposed to be demonic or something, and I don't see what's wrong with it. It's supposed to be holy language. People tend to get surprised at that because of how forward-thinking IRL. That's fair. Well, I'm sure not everyone. Well, I think that's actually a stereotype of Christians in general, that, you know, they've got a stick up their arse and that they never have any fun. I mean, yeah, there may be some religious faiths that I won't get into that are more like that, but I think the way Christianity is supposed to be is it's supposed to be all about the love of Christ, not about, you know, beating people over the head. Because that's the way I see it. There's a pain elemental, isn't there? Yep. Frickin' maniac. Although what's really not fun is having to deal with these things. Dang, damn it. Okay. At least I had a healing pack, so that's good. At least I got rid of his producer. Now I just gotta get rid of them. More likely to accept things like aliens, evolution, and LGBT rights than others. I'm not gonna get into that subject, but aliens are possible, but I don't think it's likely. Also, I find it funny how people just assume that if there are aliens on other planets, they must be more intelligent than us. Let's be real. If there are aliens on other planets, they're most likely plants or bacteria or something. If we find aliens on other planets, and I'm not saying we will, it's a possibility, I think it would most likely be like plants or something, or, you know, bacteria. I think it's extremely unlikely that we'd find human-level aliens. I think people just think that because, I don't know, they like the idea that we're not alone as intelligent creatures, because it seems like even on Earth, humans are very unique in that they are more intelligent and have a self-awareness that other animals lack. So I think they like the idea that somewhere out there's another animal that thinks like us. But I don't think it's very likely. I think it's extremely low. Odds are, we're probably one of a kind in that regard. But, you know, people like to come up with sci-fi horror stories where there are aliens that are far advanced beyond us in terms of intelligence, and they have these super enlightened weapons of mass destruction energy that just completely blow our weapons, our silly little bullet slug weapons away in terms of power. But, you know, that's just science fiction. Who knows? Maybe it is possible that they'll find actual intelligent aliens, even ones that eclipse our own intelligence. I'm not saying humans are perfect in their intelligence, that they'll never be anything as good as us, but I think it's extremely unlikely. That's what I think. Especially if you've got a religious belief. Especially if you've got religious beliefs. I mean, what reason would there be for other creatures that are as intelligent as humans? I mean, if you're a Christian, you would think that God made us in His image for a reason, and that if there were other creatures as intelligent or more intelligent than us, then that kind of defeats the purpose of making us in His image, because then, you know, we're not special. We're just some other creature. So what, is there an alien Jesus who sacrificed himself for their sins? My experience has taught me that the ancient astronauts people are onto something. Alright then. Although I think it's unlikely. First of all, to even have creatures in other planets to even sustain life, you have to have extremely perfect conditions. That's actually used as an argument in favor of God's existence, because there's 122 constants in the universe that if they weren't finely tuned exactly as they are, we wouldn't exist. For instance, gravity is exactly as strong as it needed to be for the Big Bang to actually work. Because if it was a fraction lighter, if gravity was a fraction weaker, then galaxies wouldn't have formed, and if it was a fraction stronger, it would have collapsed in on itself. So, right there, if gravity wasn't perfectly fine-tuned, it would have not formed galaxies, and we would have been life would have never happened, Life would have never had the possibility of happening. And then there are other factors to consider. Like, we're exactly the right distance from the sun so that it's not too cold, it's not too warm. Although you could argue that there is bacteria that handles some extreme temperatures, but there's also the right amount of, I forgot what it was, but something about the Earth's crust being exactly the way it needs to be. I do know that Jupiter is in the right orbital path, that it tends to absorb in meteorites that would otherwise pummel the Earth, so it's possible that life wouldn't have been a thing if Jupiter wasn't in exactly the right spot it was in to catch all the meteorites. Because, otherwise it would go straight towards Earth, and our atmosphere can't stop everything. If they're big enough, they'll go right through the atmosphere and cause damage. I'm not saying that would definitely make life impossible, it would probably make life more difficult. If that makes any sense? Man, this game is tough. This game is not screwing around. This may be a mixture of Blood and Doom, but it definitely takes from Blood almost exclusively when it comes to difficulty curve, because it is tough like Blood. And I'm sure, as those of you who have seen my Blood live streams can attest, Blood is pretty damn hard, and this really is faithful to that. Although I find it kind of weird how you're in a train, you're clearly in a train, but right here it's just a skybox. Wouldn't it make more sense if you could see the ground or something? I don't know, maybe I'm nitpicking. Maybe it's a portal or something, but I think it would be cooler if it actually showed the train tracks there. Like it's actually fracturing. Or maybe even just the ground or something. It just looks weird, it looks jarring. Then again, maybe it's supposed to look weird and jarring. Maybe it's supposed to look like reality is breaking apart. Hello. You little freak. That's one plus. Danger, Will Robinson. Increasing pressure levels, 1.5. Increase pressure first. Ready to blow this tomb? Hey, one thing about Sigil being added to official Doom ports. I'm not sure. Wait, is Sigil a Doom port? I could have sworn it was just a WAD. From what I could gather, it was just a WAD. I don't think it's a source port. Oh, you mean if it's added to the list for ports that they can choose from it. Some do that already. Fun fact, I actually hacked Sigil into my Doom WAD. Obviously, I've got a copy of it because the Doom WAD is nothing nowadays. It's just maybe just over 10 megabytes or something. But yeah, I've got a backup that's got Sigil hacked right into it. So yeah, it's on the main menu for mine. So this train is blowing up. You might even say this train has gone to hell. Literally. Sorry, Thomas. I know you don't like hell puns, but the train's going to explode. Jump on that little train and press... on that little train? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Jump where? Oh. Dagnabbit. Jump on that little train and press enter. How do I get on it? Ah. There we go. Ghost downtown. I'm guessing this is going to be some kind of sick mixture of the Icon of Sin and one of Blood's levels. Because this is the 4th level, I think. Isn't it? I don't know. Shut up. Shut up in your face. Oh, look at that. That's cute. That's fresh. Let me just see. Nope. That's Plutonia. Ah. Right. It doesn't interfere with the levels that are already there. Because you have to be able to go on the IWAD. It's making sense now. Oh, it's just the 3rd map. Ah, man. Oh, wait. No, it's not. It's the 4th map. Bethesda added Sigil as an add-on to the official Doom console ports. Oh, that's cool. I mean, of all the things that Bethesda has done wrong, and they've done a ton of things wrong, I'll give them that. Dude, all my bad romance puns come from such experience. Okay. Friends of member species with experience. Fair enough. Oh boy. Dagnabbit. Friggin' chain gunners. I hate them in any form. Cabalco, trust us. You can trust us. We're definitely not gonna stab you in the back. Oh boy. That's a bad neighborhood right there. I think someone's a little lost. Holy crap. Talking about hell in a handbasket. Douchebag. Betty! Betty, I'm a little... Unfortunately, I can't read the live chat when I'm getting my ass kicked. It's an unfortunate character flaw. It's called having to pay attention. I'm not familiar with the ancient astronauts, if I'm being honest, so I'll have to take your word for it. Monkey wrestling. Monkey wrestling. See JoJo in person. Oh man, you know who that guy reminds me of? He looks like, I think his name is Sergeant Pepper. That whole thing. Oh boy. Yeah, there we go. Excellent. I think it's for you. Whole thing about oh, okay. What, you mean the aliens meme? I'm not saying it's aliens, but it's aliens. What's with all the ring? What's with all the damn ringing? A grenade must have gone off near me, because I hear nothing but ringing. Shut up, you. Quiet, you. Ah, this is where I'm supposed to go. A door opened somewhere. Oh, boy. Stupid prick. There you go. Oh, right. It spawns another one. Oh, crap. Yeesh, talk about hell. Keeps living up to it. You can tell this is half Doom. I'm in hell right now. And forget about hell on Earth. It's just hell. It's hell in hell. Hell in handbasket. Just hell. Do not ask for whom the bell tolls. It tolls for thee. All the good crap. The door doesn't even want to open. I swear, this game has conspired against me. Started as ancient humankind's interpretation of alien encounters is true. What? What are you talking about, man? I'm being humped by spiders, so I'm gonna have to do this later. I'm going to have a conversation with you about aliens later when I'm not being humped by spiders. I'm sure you understand. And frickin' revenant specters. Damn it all to hell. This isn't even my final form. Asshole. Damn, this sucks. Well, at least without the Spectre, it should be a little easier. Oh boy. There we go. They're actually easier than the original Arachnotrons because at least they don't fire you. They just try to bite your face off. Slightly more manageable. Some big-ass spiders, though. I find it funny how that, though, I know I mentioned that before, but I find it really funny how they still make the mechanical sound when they die, even though they're clearly completely organic. That's funny. The Mancubus has lost weight and the fish have packed on a few pounds. Pretty funny, right? What do you think about it? Oh boy. Oh great, it's another pain elemental. Pain in my elemental is more like it. Talk about being a pain in the ass. Appreciate it would be a waste. Okay. They can work for it. Hold on. Hold on a sec. God almighty. God only knows what the hell's going on. Jeez Louise. You think you could back up a bit? You think you could hang tight a bit? For crying out loud. Could you chill, please? Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm ready. Go straight to hell, all of you. Go to hell. Go to hell. Go to hell. And go to hell. At least they're attacking each other. I'll take them attacking each other over them all attacking me. Any day of the week. Okay, this is map 4, right? I just want to be sure. I want to be absolutely sure that... Okay. Yes, indeed. This is the final level. Once I'm done with this, it's over. That big the universe is us being the only life able to appreciate it would be a waste. I don't think so. Most of the universe... You could say that, or you could also say that the entire universe is for us to appreciate. From afar. Who says that the universe has to be appreciated up close? Especially if it all looks samey anyway. Maybe that's the whole point of the universe being massive with only one life. Maybe it's meant to look huge. Maybe the whole point is that you realize, hey, this is actually big. The kind of creator that made all this, it's awesome. Maybe that's what you're meant to feel. Maybe the whole point of the universe is that it's much bigger than we can possibly comprehend. We can't possibly wrap our heads around the entire universe. Maybe that's the point. Just to show us just how big the creator is. Just a hunch. I mean, does that sound about right? That's the way I interpret it. You can interpret it a whole number of different ways. You know what they say, you can take the same evidence and apply it to a variety of different interpretations. Explains the fact that the universe existed for 12-bit. I'm not going to get into that debate. I've heard arguments for both, honestly. I've heard the argument that if the sun was for billions of years, then it would have eventually eclipsed the Earth with how big it would have been, because the sun is decaying at a constant rate. So the argument is that if the universe was actually billions of years old, then comparatively speaking, it would have been big enough to swallow the Earth if it was shrinking at a constant rate, you know? So that's one argument I've heard. And then there's another argument that everything is spaced out billions of light years, so it had to have, if everything came from the same Big Bang, but... So it might take time to make the universe and life and stuff. Possibly, yeah. That's one way to interpret it, Gary. Obviously, things like Darwinian evolution and old universes... The universe is infinite. No. Okay, first off, I'm going to have to say I completely disagree with that. And second, Einstein's theory of relativity kind of disproved the idea that the universe was forever lasting, because if it was forever lasting, it would have run out of fuel by now. Because the universe is slowly losing energy to entropy. So if it was forever lasting, it would have run out eventually. It would have spread itself too thin and we would have been frozen in time because it would have ran out of energy. So yeah, Einstein actually hated his own discovery at first, because he realized that meant that the universe couldn't be everlasting. So I'm sorry, that was debunked a long time ago. And no, I don't think God had a beginning. I think God is the uncaused first cause. Because there had to have been an uncaused first cause. It already exists in a state of maximum entropy because it's infinitely old. No, it isn't, man. If it was in maximum entropy, then everything would have come to a standstill. The fact that there's still life, there's still movement, that suggests that it's not an entropy yet. But it will eventually reach that point, presumably. According to the theories, according to the evidence anyway. I'm just saying, man. I mean, that's... I have nothing against you if you've got a more atheistic viewpoint and you think the universe has been around forever, but the evidence suggests that it wasn't around forever. And there's radiation trails that suggest that it all came from a single point. You know, the Big Bang. That's the whole point of that theory. It actually disproves the idea of an infinite universe, because it all came from a single point. There was a birth of the universe. Man, if it was in a state of constant entropy, then what? Would it just all collapse in on itself inevitably? How would that even work? How would the universe, stretched out and out of energy so everything's in a standstill, how would that then collapse in on itself and make a Big Bang? That wouldn't make any sense. That would go against the very ideas of physics. I mean, if you can come up with an explanation as to how that could possibly happen within the laws of physics, then, yeah, I could see your point, but you basically have to break physics to do what you're saying. That it would somehow just collapse in on itself and reset. But that doesn't seem very likely. Barring some kind of miraculous event, in which case you have to question, well, how did that happen? I mean, I don't think you can avoid it. I don't think you can avoid these uncomfortable questions. I didn't make up the null physics theorem. Null physics? What, where physics just don't matter anymore? Is that a thing? Can physics just randomly break themselves? I know humans can obviously break through physics by utilizing physics against itself, like airplanes, but to actually break physics itself, I don't think it's possible. Now, this is interesting. Map 15. Access to Baron Wolf's temple not granted. Lovely. Not granted. No, permission not granted. Where do I go then? This is weird. You gotta admit, this is really cool though. I think this was in the trailer for Bloom.
There's no place like home.
This was actually in the trailer of Bloom, I think. And it is really cool. It requires a moon key. Well, of course it does. But where do I find the moon key? On the freaking moon? Yeah, let me just go over to Majora's Mask and ask the moon if it could stop falling so I could go grab its key. Stop. Stay out. Good advice, but I'm not going to follow it. It's a cosmologic theory that basically covers the holes in and overrides the beginning of the universe theories. Ah, convenient. So it's like a patch. It's like, well, a wizard did it. Just literally, the physics just randomly broke, and that's how everything created. Now that makes sense. We'll just believe that physics randomly decided to be different, even though it's never happened before. There's gotta be a way to get in there. And I mean right now. Because this seems to be the only place that doesn't have keys or other requirements all over it. Well, probably not. Nope, it requires an eye key. Of course it does. Well, I should just shove someone's eye out. Maybe I can go to these guys who are randomly running around all over the place. Ah! You had to go here in Doom in the original version of the 15th level to get a key. Sort of. This is just that with less steps. That's cool. Hello, friend. How would you like to die? At least I found the moon key. Oh boy. Douchebag. I'm getting sick of that stomp attack. Maybe this is why I didn't experience it the first time. Because you can stun lock him with the super shotgun to some extent. At least enough that he can't use his attack properly because it requires a little bit of build-up, and by the time he builds it up, you're already shooting him. Everything will make sense. Well, I think everything will make sense too. I think there is an intelligent creator that created the universe, and that he's the uncaused first cause. I think there's an infinitely powerful, infinitely knowing, personal, omnipresent, uncaused first cause creator. That's what I believe. I believe it is far more in line with reality. It's a lot easier to justify in terms of what we know about physics and, you know, the scientific realities of this world than it is to say, well, it just has the appearance of being designed of what will make sense if you read that book. Well, have you considered alternate possibilities? Hello, friend. I seriously love how the fact that they got a skeleton popping out and then it collapses. It sort of seems like a callback to the fact that the Baron's spine snaps in half when it dies. It's like a version of that. And I appreciate that. I like little things like that. Sequence 1 of 2.
There's no place like home.
Shut up, Dorothy. Shut up. Uh-oh. There you go. There you go, you mook. Uh-oh. Almost shot you. Damn it. Yeesh. Talk about everything being against me at once. Well, I'm a Christian. But Thomas, we each have our own beliefs on how the universe came into existence and how things will end up. I choose to follow the evidence that I see, that I personally see. I'm not gonna berate your... Also, the universe created God part is something I came up with on my own to reconcile religious beliefs with secular aspects of my cosmos. Well, I don't think that would even make any sense. Because if the universe created God, then that would mean that God isn't really all creative, all powerful, all knowing. That would mean that God had a beginning, that God was created by something else, that you can create a God. And if God can be created, then doesn't that kind of make him less special? It kind of goes against the idea of God, if he can be created. But that would mean that the universe is the creator, not the other way around. I'm just saying. Nah, I just disagree. We'll have to agree to disagree on that one. Because I'm not here to get into theological arguments, really. I'm mostly here to play a game. Mostly here to entertain. It's like it's like celebrities that try to lecture about politics. It's like, you're not here to have that kind of debate. You're here to entertain. Quit trying to exploit that. So yeah, I don't want to just sit here arguing theological debates. Well, everything came from somewhere. All powerful, yes, but still came from somewhere. Not really. Okay, I will say this: there has to have been a first cause, an uncaused first cause. That's just a fact. There has to have been something that wasn't created. And if you think that the universe was always existing, but where did that somewhere come from? You see, Gary has a point. If there is no uncaused first cause, then you have to keep asking, well, what created that? What created that? What created that? What created the universe, Thomas? Why do you believe that the universe was all lasting, but you don't think God can be all lasting? That doesn't make any sense. Why do you think that everything must come from somewhere except the universe? Asterisk. You're basically saying that, oh, well, except for what I believe in, that is the one exception. Which, kind of flies in the face of that. You believed in something in the universe manifested our object of belief. Are you saying that we created the universe? Now that makes even less sense. Access to Baron Wolf's temple not granted. Crap. Well, how the hell do I get to his temple then? The hope in a dream? Is that how I get to his freaking temple? Because I hit a switch sequence that should have opened something, but
Away!
evidently not.
There's no place like home.
If you don't shut up, I'll kill you. If you don't stop screaming, I'll kill you. Where the hell am I supposed to go anyway? No, the universe conformed to our belief. And what created the universe, Thomas? Are you saying the universe was all lasting? Are you saying the universe is all powerful? That it created God? You're basically saying the universe is God. Which is kind of silly. Because we know the universe had a birth. The evidence is overwhelming. I hate to say it. The universe can't have been everlasting. It just spits in the face of so much evidence. You basically have to ignore reality to say that. No offense. But I think it's far more rational. I believe it is far more likely, far more reasonable to say that there was something beyond the universe that created the universe, not the other way around. Because otherwise you have to ignore the fact that there's entropy and that everything has radiation trails leading off from the same point, and basically a ton of other points that you have to completely ignore, throw away. Damn you. Damn archvile. And of course. Damn you. This sucks. This really sucks. Go to hell. Here we go, okay. This theory is where I got the universe is infinitely old thing. It also covers the radiation trails and entropy and whatnot. So basically it says, you know, those things don't matter. Just ignore it. Or it just says, you know, I'm just going to come up with a convenient excuse. Well, tell me, why is it so impossible to believe that there is an infinite God that existed beyond the universe and created the universe? Do you think that's unreasonable? Do you think it's unreasonable to believe that there was something beyond the universe that is all-powerful, all-knowing, personal, and all that? Do you believe that's unreasonable to believe in? Because I honestly think that it is less rational to think that the universe is everlasting than to think that something beyond the universe created the universe. That provides alternate explanations for those elements. That's fine. Well, then I guess we'll just have to call it a disagreement and leave it at that. Because I don't think you're going to convince me to your way of thinking, and I somehow doubt I'm going to convert you over to my way of thinking. We'll just have to live and let live on that. Well, at least I got an I key. Must have been made by Apple, am I right? Yeah, these theologian nerds, right? Well, that's something I never thought I'd get called. Well, on that front. I'm a Catholic who supports Darwinian evolution. Oh, okay. Well, I don't personally believe in Darwinian evolution. I think there's way too many holes in it. Obviously, Darwinian evolution could easily fit in with a Christian theory. It's not incompatible, but from what I've seen, I think Darwinian evolution has too many holes in it. I don't think Darwin, to his credit, I don't think during his time they had the right kind of technology to really view the kind of things that he was observing in more detail. Because he didn't know about cells, he didn't know how complicated organs were. He was making a guess at the time. But I think that people treating his word like it's gospel, they don't realize that in Darwin's time, I don't think they really knew what a cell was. They didn't know how complicated the human body was. I think Darwin himself even said that his theory would absolutely break down in the presence of complex organs that couldn't have been formed through simple changes. And now we know that there are organs that are extremely complex. Even just a cell has an extreme amount of genetic information in it, let alone an entire organ. So yeah, I think if Darwin was around today, he'd rebuke his own theory. He'd say, no, I was wrong. The human body is so much more complex than I ever could have imagined it would be. Even an amoeba is like 40 volumes of an encyclopedia's worth of information. That's just my take on things, though. Evolution is a misinterpreted commonly. It was really just a pass-fail concept. Well, here's the thing. Obviously, adaptational evolution within a species that's real. You can plainly see that it's real. All you have to do is just look around. You see animals adapting to their environments all the time. In fact, there's freaking antibiotic-resistant bacteria because they become more resistant to it because they randomly have variants, and the variants that are good at survival, they're the ones that pass on their genes, and then it slowly micro-evolves. But I believe there also seems to be genetic limitations that prevent it from going any further than that. So you're not going to see something change into another species because just the amount of chromosomes has to remain constant. Otherwise, it'll produce extreme mutations that aren't viable for life. Just saying. I think I've talked about this long enough, though. Let's talk about more blood and doom. Okay, then. Hello, you fire freak. That almost looks like troll face. Intelligent design falls apart. If it were true, evolution wouldn't have limits. Why? Why does that make it fall apart? Wouldn't evolution having limits mean that they were deliberately designed to be that species, that they weren't meant to try to intertwine with each other? I mean, wouldn't it be the opposite? Wouldn't having infinite evolution where all animals literally came from the same thing, wouldn't that disprove intelligent design? Because that would mean that they weren't created with purpose, that they just randomly came into being. That seems like that would break down intelligent design. I think the fact that they can't evolve all that much would suggest that they were created. They didn't come into existence from the same spot. They were created by the same creator. They had to have been created with purpose. They didn't just come from, I don't know, amoebas in the ground. They didn't just evolve over time. But they created, it'd be better. Well, why is it necessary for one species to change into another? If it was created from the very beginning to do a certain purpose, like for instance, if reptiles were always made with that purpose in their own environments, why would they need to evolve into another species? They have different ways of survival. That'd be like saying a lizard doesn't change into a bird, so it's inferior. No. Lizards can survive in environments that birds can't. They have their own ways of survival. It would be unnecessary. That would actually work against them if they could evolve into another species. That's another thing. Irreducible complexity. Because if you wanted to, say, evolve a reptile into a bird over time, what would it have to evolve first? It would need hollow bones, it would need wings that would make it bigger and require more protein. Everything that would transition it would make it less suitable for survival. So it would make no sense. I know you could say that. I'm making an example, though. If one species evolved into another species, it would have to transition things that would make it unsuitable for survival. I'm just saying. Like, for instance, I'm saying if a reptile evolved into a bird over time, it would have to gain hollow bones, it would have to grow wings, it would have to do a lot of things that in a transitional period would make it a misfit creature and it would make it unfit for survival. I'm just saying. Ouch. Ouch. Prick. I need to focus on this. Otherwise, I'm never going to beat it. Damn it. Thank you. It's not like they jump suddenly. The transition species spend time alternating between environments. But it still would make it unsuitable. It would still make it less suitable for survival. Because they have their own ways of dealing with predators. If they just evolved one thing at a time, that transitional species would be more easily caught by predators, so it wouldn't survive long enough to carry on its genetics. Isn't the idea of evolution that the survivors pass on their genes, and then that becomes the norm? They adapt to their environment over time? The misfit ones that have transitions, they would be the ones to die first. So they wouldn't pass on their genes. So it would be an evolutionary dead end. I'm just saying, man. It just seems like it goes against the idea of evolution itself. Because, like I said, adaptational evolution is all about the ones with the more favorable traits to survive. They survive They pass on their genes, and then that becomes the new norm. So for instance, if you take antibiotics, and then you've got antibiotic-resistant bacteria, and it survives, it will propagate, and then all of a sudden you've got a generation of antibiotic-resistant bacteria, because they're the ones who survived in the first place. Do you get what I'm saying? So if there's a transitional species that is less suitable for survival than a pure one of its species, like say there's a halfway between a lizard and a bird, and you've got pure lizards and pure birds that are better off in survival, those hybrid ones are more likely to die, and thus they wouldn't pass on their genes. I'm just saying. That's my understanding. They keep what they need from the ancestors. Well, if one is more suitable for survival than the transitional species, then wouldn't it make more sense that the pure birds and the pure lizards would live on, and the hybrid would die? We had them, they're called feathered dinosaurs. Well, guess what? The dinosaurs died. I know it was probably a meteor, but that's a funny it's funny they use that as an example when the dinosaurs are dead. In fact, I think it was the small mammals that dug into the ground that ended up surviving. The big dinosaurs, they died. Damn it. Damn you. Screw this, I'm going all out. This is the last level anyway. May as well. Go to hell. Go to hell, man. Damn it. There we go. Over generations, the descendants became birds. Well, says who? If they all died out and went extinct, how could they have survived long enough to become birds? Are you saying the dinosaurs didn't actually die out, that there were hybrids that survived? I could have sworn it was just small mammals and other things like that, not the big dinosaurs just all died out. Wouldn't a transitional one also be as big as the dinosaurs and also die? Yeah, I don't want to. Honestly, this is becoming too complicated. It just seems like you gotta go through hoops, too, to keep that idea going. When it would be a lot simpler to just say that there is a powerful creator. And I don't know what law it's called, but usually the simplest answer is the correct one. If you have to overly complicate it, then it's probably less likely to be true. Because then you have to justify it in your head with several steps. It's sort of like a bad writer trying to patchwork their own stuff, you know, like the new Star Wars movies. They have to patch it in later and say, oh, well, Rey is this and Rey is that. Rey read Kylo's mind, and that's how she was able to get her Force powers. I know that's probably a bad example to use fiction for this, but it seems like a similar kind of thing where you have to use all these convoluted explanations to try to make sense of your theory, when it seems like the simpler explanation is the better one. I'm just saying. You believe what you believe, and I'll believe what I believe, and that'll just be it. I need to focus on this game. I don't have much left in this live stream, so gotta focus to some extent. Wonder how much of this level there even is left. I'd like to see that. Come on. I know the fried chicken birds are delicious. To be fair, some complications are natural conclusions based on evidence. Well, you can interpret evidence in different ways. For instance, all animals sharing a similar genetic code, that can be interpreted in different ways. Wouldn't you agree? Because some people will say, well, that just proves that there's a common ancestor. Whereas someone else might say, no, that's evidence that they have a common creator. That's an example of evidence that is more subjective, because it really depends on how you interpret it. That itself doesn't go towards Darwinian evolution or creationism, really. It all really depends on how you choose to interpret it. You can see it as evidence for either one. Although, at that point, you're probably just trying to confirm your own bias. Oh, crap. One freaking micro freeze, and then all of a sudden I'm dead. Go to hell. Oh, crap. Yeesh. There is much more left of this than I thought. I don't think I'm gonna make it. I don't think I'm gonna make it through this live stream. Well, you know what I mean. I don't think I'm gonna make it through all of this in this live stream. How much more is there left of this? Okay, there's not that much left to it. I think I could probably do fine. I could probably go through that in 10 minutes. Maybe, if I'm lucky. If there aren't that many tough enemies. Douchebag. They like to move fast, don't they? Ah, the exit. Well then. Are you familiar with a cephalopod called the vampire squid? I am not. I'm familiar with a variety of animal creatures, just not that. Oh, that's the exit. I'm going the wrong way. What the hell? Do I still have... I still have the cheat on. I apologize. I didn't realize it was still on. Ah, cool. I've been to aquariums and zoos before. Just not anything with anything that complex. Well, specific anyway. What the hell? How in the world? Where do I go? There's gotta be somewhere that the game wants me to go. The mod. I mean. Obviously I'm supposed to go in there, but how do I open it? There's gotta be a way. Probably in here. It would make more sense. Because that way you can't just skip over this. You'd have to go to both. Not seeing it. Typos with the Pokemon Malamar is based on. Alright then. I'll take your word for it. Where the hell am I supposed to go in this? Sorry, I'm just distracted. I'm trying to figure out where the hell I'm supposed to go. It seems like there's a dead end. And I don't have that much time left in the live stream, so I'm trying to focus more on this. Emergency room. Okay. I'm just going around in circles. Is there a switch or something that I'm just not seeing? I don't get it. There's got to be something here. What the? Really? You just had to do it on the side? Ah, screw this. At least there's not that much left to it. Go through plasma. There you go. Just die. Believed to be the sole surviving species of the group that became the direct evolutionary ancestors of octopuses. Okay. I mean, sure. My ass is being kicked by an archvile, so I don't currently have the luxury of getting into a deep conversation with you, but I'm sure you understand. Right now, I want to focus on getting through this level. I hope you don't mind. That means I'm going to have to shut off my brain a little bit. Yes, they suck. They're one of my least favorite enemies, behind Spider Masterminds. Spider Masterminds are just the worst. Spider Masterminds are worse than Archviles, because at least Archviles give you a wind-up. Archviles are rapid fire, bullet sponges, hit scanners. That makes them the worst. They're like the triple douche. At least most enemies are either just rapid fire, just hit scan. Well, actually, the other hit scan enemies, like this for example, they're easy to kill. And most bullet sponge enemies, they tend to use projectiles. The change didn't really make a difference. Well, I'm sorry, I can't really change that. Damn it all! And I can't really focus on that when I'm getting my ass kicked. So I'm sure you understand, right? Douchebag. I'm out of plasma. This is an ass. Crap. He's reviving them fast. Hurry up and die already. God damn it. sucks. This really freaking sucks. I'm out of good ammo. Just this crap ammo is left. Okay, good. I killed the freaking archvile at least. I'm saving that shit right now. You better believe I'm saving that shit. Of course. Okay, good. Infighting. My saving grace. My one saving grace. Always. Oh, you son of a bitch. They're bullet sponges, kinda. It takes a little bit to kill them. Go to hell. Thank you. Frick. I took that med kit and I'm still down. Damn it. I hope there aren't any more enemies. At least not that many. And then there's more. Way more than I could ever anticipate. I'm gonna die. Indeed. I told you they have all three. That's what I said. That's literally what I said. Crying out loud, what the hell is wrong with these douchebags? They're like the opposite of the regular cacodemons. They make rapid-fire weapons completely impractical. Because they shield themselves, like douchebags. Oh, crap. Damn it, I have no choice. Let's use this. There you go. There you freaking go. Let's see a shield from this. See a shield just... Oh. It dodges. They dodge you? What a dick. I'm sorry, but what a dick. They freaking dodge you. Of course they do. Oh, yeah. Like I said, Archviles have a wind-up for their attack. Spider Masterminds, they are rapid-fire hit-scan bullet sponges, and that makes them especially bad. Okay, that is Bloom. Actually, good timing because I just ended it. That was really cool, wasn't it? That was the demo of Bloom. That was the 4-map demo. I'm actually glad how perfectly that ended. I apologize for those of you watching if you didn't want me to go into a theological debate, but Thomas kind of sucked me into it. But it's all good. I'm glad you think so, Gary. I'm glad you think so. But anyway, that has been my live stream of Bloom. I'm not sure what I'll live stream next, but I'll keep you posted. In the meantime, if you want to watch more videos of me going through games just like this on YouTube, I make videos every single day, 10 a.m. and 2 p.m., 30 minutes long, Eastern Standard Time every single day. I also sometimes do bonus videos like bonus Let's Plays or reviews or whatnot at noonish Eastern Standard Time if you don't want to have to memorize all that stuff. Okay, Thomas, I never said. No, forget it. Anyway, that is it for now. Thank you so much for tuning in with me. Make sure to spread this video around like the unholy fusion of demons and blood monsters. And I will see you next time. Now go out there and capitalize on life. Peace out, have a good one, and have a nice and pleasant day. I'm just going to let the rest of this roll out. See you later.